Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Scorpio energy, and like usual, we're going to do two rows. It could be a battle within yourself. We all have our dualistic nature. You could be battling, do you choose love, listen to your intuition, or do you maybe give in to your more worldly nature? And then there's some people in the world who are definitely harnessing high vibe Scorpio energy. They've learned some lessons from their life experience that they're no longer interested in repeating a past pattern or way of being or thinking or relationship, and they're moving forward onto something new. And then there's some people who are definitely aligned with their more worldly nature and view of life, or their shadowy view of life. So high vibe Scorpio is people who are willing to explore the mysteries of life, willing to be open to love, to experience the highs and lows. And other people could be people who like to keep their emotions kind of buried beneath the surface because we're emotionally complex human beings. It's confusing. And they might prefer not to deal with them. And then there's some people who are still caught up in the illusion of the world, convinced that if they indulge in the things of the world instead of love, they'll be happy. That's living the life. Or making their life more about money and materialism, they're sure will make them happy. And then there's some people who harness much more shadowy Scorpio energy. They're emotionally shallow, superficial, intimidating, controlling, and act like a private detective in a relationship. So whether you're a Scorpio sun sign or know someone is, you listening to your intuition might figure out what kind of Scorpio energy you harness and what some other people in your life harness, because we all do tap into some Scorpio energy. So the option is here for people to choose high vibe, but not everybody will. So I'll turn down the camera a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, in the top row we have the Nine of Cups, the Death card, the Ace of Pentacles, and a card not showing itself. And the reason it came out is because of the reason for both of the readings is the Two of Wands card, which is Aries energy. So it would depend on how people are harnessing their Aries energy. High vibe Aries energy are people that haven't given up on their dreams. And they're bold and brave enough. With Scorpio, Aries and Scorpio together is about willing to let go of an old foundation or an old way of thinking, that's not conducive to moving forward in life and seeing the truth. And that would be the Ace of Pentacles. I realize some people could have either been in a relationship with someone who they felt harnessed shadowy Pisces energy, or they were kind of in shadowy Pisces energy. Shadowy Pisces energy can be about maybe being kind of immature and in the illusion of love and liking the illusion of love. But, if we really want our dreams to come into reality, we have to invest in, growing and maturing ourselves and learning some lessons. And life isn't just about indulging ourselves, because shadowy Aries can be about me, my wants, my needs, my lust, my greed, my pride, my ego. It's all very self-focused, which can be about indulging and maybe staying in jobs and relationships where either we're indulging someone else because we have illusions about them one day detaching from some old ways of being and growing and maturing themselves and realizing they never do, or us kind of being indulged and realizing that, if I really want my dreams to come into reality, I need to face, well, let's go see what this card is. Six of Cups. I need to reconcile myself with the past, and I need to invest in being more balanced, because when we're more balanced, we can move forward in a much more successful way, because we're not tipped out of balance. We're not indulging other people in their poor behavior, not indulging ourselves in our poor behavior, and we're not tipped into our more worldly, egoic, or shadowy nature of fear or insecurity or pride or ego or immaturity, and all the list goes on, right? And part of being able to move forward in life is being able to see the truth, because the truth sets you free, being willing to take the lessons you've learned from that past life experience, and that requires that you humble yourself, which some people in their shadowy energy could have a problem doing, because it would be for them to admit that maybe I had lessons to learn, and some people have a hard time with that. So we have to admit that, the things that happen in my life happen for me to grow and mature myself and to learn lessons about myself. What is my truth? What is other people's truth? Not to be so naive and gullible, to not keep indulging poor behavior in myself and others, to love myself. And part of that is to the Six of Cups of Scorpio energy. Sometimes we can get caught up in a pattern. We have ways of being in the world, and we're used to kind of being in relationships with certain types of people, and ways of living our life, and ways of thinking about ourselves and the world around us, and things that are our comfort zone. And it could have to do with kind of how we grew up and how we view relationships, how we're used to interacting with other people. And if there's some things about that pattern of way of being that we want to let go of, we need to invest time, energy, and effort into not repeating those patterns, if those patterns are stopping us from having our dreams come into reality. So when we realize, it's just like, I bring this up all the time in the readings, but I can't think of really of a better analogy. But, when we're 15 and 18 and 21 and 25 and 30, to be happy living our life that way, that's appropriate to be happy at age 15 and how we live our life. And the way we live our life as we kind of grow and mature ourselves and let go of our more 15-year ways of being, well, then we kind of move up more into our 18-year-old ways of being. And we're bold and brave enough to step out of our comfort zone, to like go get a job and drive a car and things like that. And then as we get to being closer to 21, we let go of some of those ways of being at 18 that were great. But the time comes that we're supposed to keep growing and maturing ourselves and shedding some of our fears, our insecurity, our self-centered nature, to keep growing and maturing ourselves. And so I think high vibe people are doing that. Some people, there could be someone from their past that would like to be in a relationship, and some of those people you're no longer going to invest in. There could be other people from your past that you're looking back to that you would like to invest in, but right now you might not have reunited with them, because that's what the Six of Cups can talk about, and balancing things out. Some of you could have made an offer. Some people are going to make an offer to someone. And if it's not someone from your past, I only say that because the Two of Wands is looking to the past, and the Six of Cups can refer to that. But it also could be that some of you are cutting someone out of your life who harnesses shadowy Scorpio energy to invest in people who harness high vibe Scorpio energy. And it doesn't matter if there's someone you meet or know or don't know, you're looking anyway to invest in people who, like you, are emotionally independent. Because in order to move forward in life, we have to kind of like learn to have loved ourselves and offered ourselves that cup of love, to detach from old ways of being and our fears and our insecurities and our illusions, to love ourselves enough to believe that we deserve to keep growing and maturing ourselves and have new beginnings in our life. Because otherwise we stay in kind of stagnant energy, as what the Scorpio death card can talk about. Some people might have some people from their past who want to try to stop them from having a new beginning and having their dreams come into reality. Because those people might harness shadowy Scorpio energy. I don't want you to work together with other people where you have an emotionally balanced, deep emotional connection, because I'm happy in you indulging me in a relationship. And I'm going to try to stop you from investing in those people in your life. We have our dualistic nature, and then we have people in our life that kind of represent that energy out in the world. We have people who are happy when we're in our fear, in our insecurity, in our lust, in our greed, in our immature, indulgent nature, where we don't grow and mature ourselves and don't become all we can be and don't be an emotion, basically live our life differently in a more maybe loving, bold, brave, confident way than they're living their life. And then we have other people in our life who are trying to encourage us to love and believe in ourselves, to get balanced within ourselves. They're not trying to manipulate us into fear and insecurity. They're not trying to intimidate and control us. They're offering us resources to help us love ourselves and believe in ourselves and get more balanced and reconcile ourselves with the past so that we can heal, offer ourselves love and compassion and forgiveness so that we can offer ourselves those things to heal, so we'll no longer be drawn and attracted to people who kind of subconsciously remind us of people in our past who maybe hurt us to begin with. If we know that we used to kind of invest in people who might have harnessed shadowy Aries energy that were kind of bossy or controlling or all about themselves, or we were in relationships with people who live in illusion or like to be indulged in a relationship or caught up in the illusion of the world and their focus is indulgence or more focused on money and materialism, who might be people who are emotionally shallow and superficial, why would we have ever been drawn to being in a relationship with people like that? Because we could have grown up with people like that, and it's like our comfort zone. And in order to detach from being in relationships with people who are in shadowy energy, we need to learn to love ourselves, believe in our dreams, invest in reconciling ourselves with the past, giving ourselves all the things that we wish those people would have given us so we heal that wound. So people can no longer play on those wounds. Oh, but aren't you hurt? Oh, aren't you um, wanting to be immature and impulsive? Don't you want to be lustful and greedy? Don't you want to be in your fear and insecurity? Here, I'm happy that you're like that. Let me try to, get you caught up in those things again so that you'll indulge me in a relationship. I don't want you to get in deep, meaningful relationships with other people. I want you to keep indulging me being in my non life giving, unloving way of being. And so we have to learn the lesson from that life experience, reconcile ourselves with the past, and not want to reunite with those people. And when we didn't choose the more loving, balanced people in our life because we had lessons to learn and we could have been drawn and attracted and got ourselves in a shadowy relationship, it's because we had lessons to learn. And when we learn that lesson, it might make us look back at some of the people that we either didn't get into relationships with or that we could have ended relationships with because it was kind of outside of our comfort zone. We hadn't grown and matured ourselves. We had lessons learned. And it might make people think that, gee, there's some people I could have rejected in my life that maybe I would like to reconcile with, even if that's a friend, or a family member. But it could be someone who you view as harnessing high vibe Scorpio and high vibe Aries, people who are bold and brave enough to work together with people from a foundation of love, who have learned to love themselves, who are emotionally independent. And if that doesn't work out, because that person isn't willing to reconnect with you, you know, you don't get in your ego about it. You keep loving and believing in yourself and keep investing in believing in your dreams. That if that person isn't the person that you can reconcile with, you know, we assume the divine has a plan for our life and we keep investing in the dream, which is what the Two of Wands is about, having a dream. And if other people aren't able or free or open to reconciling with you, you wish them peace and you move on. And keep believing and investing in bringing your dream into reality. And looking for other people that you think in the world, you offer people love and respect and treat them the way you like to be treated, and find the people in the world who are open to working with you in that energy. Because some people in shadowy energy aren't open to that. They could be in whatever state of mind they're in, maybe not in very positive emotions. They could be in envy and jealousy and, uh, trying to feel powerful by rejecting loving people because they reject loving themselves. You either empower yourself to not be in those energies so you're open to loving people in the world, or you reject loving people because you're not loving yourself, and you kind of get caught up in negative emotions. So, what's going on in the shadowy energy? Some people, if it's a battle kind of within yourself, you had a dream at one time in a workplace or a relationship or a family, because that's what the Taurus Hierophant can talk about, with people in your life that you had love for and you wanted a dream to come into reality. But with the Judgment card, it ended, and it could have been because you're kind of motivated and inspired by different things. People could have had different dreams. What they're motivated and inspired by and how they view the dream relationship could be completely different than how you dream the dream relationship. If they're in shadowy energy, they could have been shadowy. Aries can be kind of bossy and controlling. The Taurus energy in shadow can be stubborn and prideful, and it can also be much more worldly focused, ego focused, image focused. And that's what they could love, and that could be their dream. If my dream relationship is either to be in a relationship with someone who lets me kind of be bossy and controlling, or makes me the center of their universe, where they no longer invest in their dreams and they no longer grow and mature themselves. Shadowy Aquarius can be people who it's like, I want everyone else to put aside their pride and ego in this relationship, but never me. The most important person in this relationship isn't the relationship, isn't the family, isn't the workplace, it's me. My wants, my needs, my lust, my greed, my pride, my ego. And if you're not willing to indulge me in my being bossy and stubborn and prideful in the center of attention, well, then I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I'll go find someone else who's willing to do that for me. And then some people are really driven and motivated to want to look like a shining star in the world, and it's all about working with the things of the world. Love really isn't what drives and motivates them. It's ego and image and status and having people look up and admire them. And that's what drives and motivates them. And if you had been in a relationship with people who are like any of those ways I described, you didn't want to keep working at that workplace or in that friendship group or in that romantic relationship or with those family members, you know? Who likes to be in a relationship with people who are bossy and controlling and stubborn, unbudging, kind of ego focused, and think they're all that. Where people aren't willing to grow and mature themselves, and people keep trying to stop you from being all you can be because they're not growing and maturing themselves. It's like, no, this is the way it should be. This is the way it should. Life is about growing and maturing yourself. But some people don't want to do that because they don't want to live life any differently. It would require them to detach from some ways of being and things in the world that they like to indulge in, which can just be their egoic, emotionally defensive nature. It makes them feel safe. I am not willing to detach from that. I am not willing to look at life from a higher perspective. Some people don't believe there's any higher truth or justice to aspire to in the world than what the world says. And I guess apparently everybody gets to make up their own decisions about what's just and fair in the world. And they think what they think is just and fair and worthy is the right path. And they might not think there's any more to life than, again, what the world says. If you have money and status and image, that's it. There is nothing else. It's not about trying to encourage other people to believe in their dreams, because shadowy energy is competitive. Well, why would I want to help other people to love and believe in themselves? They're like my competition. And if they're people who haven't learned to love and believe in themselves, which is why they derive their sense of worth and value by what they wear and what they drive and how much money they have, and that's what makes them feel like they have value in the world. Well, they don't want to encourage everybody's their competition, because they're operating from ego And if anybody else seems to be doing better than them and putting on a better image or status than them, well, that's their competition to beat, you know? High vibe people are emotionally independent and they don't think other people are their competition, you know? It's me living my authentic life, trying to grow and mature myself to my full potential. Other people have more talents and skills and interests, you know? I accept that, you know, and they have their own unique ways of being that bring something. It's kind of like trying to compare flowers and saying this flower is ugly and that flower's not ugly, you know, when we're all unique and different. But let's just kind of stop right there and ask, what do people in high vibe Scorpio energy not see coming? Seven of Swords and the High Priestess because of the Four of Cups. Well, you might have some people, needless, we always do, because before you can move to the next level, you know, the divine needs to know for sure that you have learned the lesson you're meant to learn from past life experience. So I think you will be tempted in the Seven of Swords. And it's for you to listen to your intuition. Who is coming towards you in their Seven of Swords Aquarius energy, who in high vibe, that are people who are listening to their intuition, that have taken that cup of love to be emotionally independent of the past, to have emotionally reconciled themselves with some things of the past that they're willing to detach from, to have a brand new beginning, because they have hope and faith and belief in their dreams, and they're listening to their intuition to guide them. And which people are coming towards you because the thing that they had been indulging in ended. So now they want to get in a new relationship with someone, and they're hiding that they ignored love, that other people ignored their love, and that's why they're coming towards you. You know, and so the High Priestess talks about connecting in with your emotions and your intuition. There's some people who don't see the truth about you. That is the Seven of Swords, are people who, in their shadowy energy, live more from their mind than their heart, and they're not seeing the truth clearly. They think that you feel sad, that you like haven't looked at life from a higher perspective, that you haven't offered yourself that cup of love to love and believe in yourself, that you maybe haven't emotionally detached from wanting to invest in an old dream with someone who is in shadowy energy. And they're still hoping they can manipulate and deceive you because they think you haven't seen the truth, that they ignore love. And if you've already been in a relationship with them, and you know from having been in a relationship with them before that they ignored your love. They don't really operate from a foundation of love. They use their emotions manipulatively to try to mentally manipulate and strategize to get what they want in a relationship. And you're going to have other people who truly feel like you are someone they could work cooperatively together with and bring a dream into reality. And they're not trying to manipulate you. And they hope you're listening to your intuition because they hope that you've detached from some shadowy people in your past and that you would be willing to have a new beginning with them in truth and love. So, your superpower is your intuition. God gave it to you to help you navigate through difficult times when you could get up in your head because, and, you know, regardless of if you go back and get in a shadowy relationship, there's a key on each side of the scale because nothing is wasted. We learn lessons no matter what, but it's just that I think what you also might be surprised about is that someone you might have been hoping to have a new beginning with is going to listen to their intuition. And then, you know, the shadowy people will pop up too. But You probably already know the people in your life who are bossy and controlling and egotistical and stubborn and materialistic and emotionally shallow and superficial and like to be indulged in a relationship and have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. You already know the truth of them. And I think those people will be surprised that you have connected in with listening to your intuition to guide you, and that you might wish them peace, but you're not willing to get in a new relationship with them again. Tell us about the people who harness some shadowy Scorpio energy, who could right now, if it's not trying to get in a relationship with you, because they might, if they already know that you're someone who isn't willing to repeat those ways of being in a relationship with them, they could know that's over and you've moved on. And so some of those people right now could be in a new relationship or dreaming of getting in a new relationship that'll make them look like a shining star, and where someone will view them as a shining star and make them the center of their universe. And instead of listening to their own intuition to guide them, it'll only be what this person tells them they should listen to. But what do the people in shadowy energy not see coming in their life? Okay, we had two cards flip. The Knight of Cups and the Ace of Swords, because of the Two of Swords. Well, for one thing, what they don't see coming, sometimes when you get in a relationship with a shadowy person, they act in these prideful, egotistical, stubborn ways of being to try to stop you from loving and believing in yourself. And for some of them, they'll be shocked that you keep investing in the truth and listening to your intuition to guide you and not getting caught up in your mind and your fear and your insecurity. And when you do, in your Seven of Swords, you listen to your intuition and offer yourself love to get you back to being, if you're Four of Cups, there's a maximum of 10. So if you're 4 cups in your heart and offering yourself a cup of love, that means you're 6 swords up in your mind, and the 6 of Swords is about moving forward in truth, away from people in your life who try to cause you mental conflict. They have a lot of mental conflict. Again, Aquarius energy, they could be prideful, egotistical, self-centered, and they could be people who want to win at all costs. So whenever you get caught up in your head, you listen to your intuition because you offer yourself that cup of love to keep investing in your dreams, in truth and love, and not getting caught up in your head. And some of the shadowy people who are hoping to manipulate you, thinking you wouldn't love and believe in yourself, some of those people, what they don't see coming is that you're going to keep moving forward, offering yourself love, believing in your truth, and listening to your intuition. And it's like, damn, 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 damn. Because they want you to be in your shadow energy. They want you to be in your fear and your insecurity and your pride and your ego or your lust or your greed or your self-limiting beliefs, so that you'll come back and do the relationship the way they want to. Because for some of them, being in a relationship with you is like a dream come true. Because you don't act like them in a relationship. You're probably loving and nurturing and supportive and creative and inspired and balanced and not being petty and envious and jealous and competitive with them. So it's like a dream come true. But it's like, no, that's not my dream relationship, because you're stubborn, you're egotistical, you're bossy and controlling. And you have a different truth than I am. You, in your Pisces energy, the shadowy people have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. And they think it's all about what they think is the truth. And their truth is to be in denial of the truth that they're bossy and controlling and self-centered and prideful and egotistical and competitive and materialistic. And since you're not going to probably invest in a relationship with someone like that because you've learned your lessons from that life experience, what they might not see coming is someone else might have some lessons to learn or be on the same page as them. I too have a dream of being in a relationship where I look like a shining star in the world and people look up and admire me. And they might have someone make them an offer to move forward with this idea of getting together in a relationship to bring a dream into reality. But what they don't know about why the person is making them that offer is because that person, well, for one, they want people to make them an offer because they're in denial of the truth of who this shadowy person is. But what they might not know, if they've already been in relationships with loving people and they rejected them, no, I don't want to do love. No, I refuse to become emotionally independent of my worldly nature. No, I do not want to grow and mature myself. I don't think I have any growing and maturing to do. They might get in a relationship with someone else who creates an illusion that they want to be in a relationship with them based on truth and love, but it could just be an illusion. They also could be people who don't want to see the truth about themselves. And I think that would be karmic justice if they get in a relationship with someone who's like themselves. It's like, well, if you rejected loving people where you had the opportunity to free yourself from your more immature nature and grow and mature yourself and you weren't, well, you're probably going to get in a relationship with some people who also have some lessons to learn, and they're not seeing it clearly. They could think people should want to be in a relationship with me because of the stability I have, the image I have, how I shine bright in the world. It could just be that they are charming or attractive or something like that. And they're right. There is people who want to be in a relationship with them for those reasons, not because of love. And this person might be in denial of that, and they might get in a relationship with someone else who's just like them. But I also think what they don't see coming is that there are people who are bold and brave enough to do and want to be in emotionally balanced and loving deep relationships, and there's going to be someone offering the people that they rejected a new love offer because they're intuitive that that person is loving. Even if this person tried to do things to try to stop people from viewing you as loving, like, oh no, I was the one who tried to work things out with them. They were unwilling to work together with me cooperatively. Basically, they tried to cast all their negative traits and characteristics onto the loving people in their life. They're bossy and controlling, they're selfish, they're greedy, they're blah, blah, blah. And really, other people who know you are intuitive that that's not the truth of who you are. And those people that know you or get to know you are going to listen to their intuition. And if they're bold and brave enough to do deep emotional relationships, you'll get in a relationship. And that is something they didn't maybe see coming. And then they could feel stuck if some of them were hoping that nobody would make you an offer or you wouldn't have a new beginning, or they could try to stop you from having a new beginning somehow, that then you'd come back and indulge them. That's not happening. And then they could feel stuck because their game of trying to manipulate people to do what they want didn't work. Because when we're in a relationship, we have the free will choice to be open and honest and just and fair and loving. And some people think, I don't know if I want to do that. I know, I have a better idea. I'm going to try to manipulate them into doing what I want. I'm going to get in my ego. I'm going to stop investing in them. And I'm going to be stubborn and prideful and self centered. I might go get in a relationship with someone else, and I bet all of that will make them stop loving and believing in themselves. And they'll come back and do the relationship the way I want. And that's not very loving, right? And that's where people had to do this work within themselves to see the truth. That's unjust, it's unfair, it's unkind, it's unloving, it's hurtful, it's manipulative. Who wants to be in a relationship with someone like that? And so then the high vibe people listen to their intuition and they detach from those people, even though they could have loved those people and wished a dream would come into reality. Both people have to be willing to detach from some of their shadowy ways of being and be willing to grow and mature themselves and detach from their either addictions or their ego or whatever, or their bossy and controlling ways of being. And if they weren't, then they made their free will choice. And we can stay in denial, which they could have been hoping that you would stay in denial of the truth. But because you love yourself, you saw the truth. and you're not stuck anymore, and you're listening to your intuition about what is loving and what isn't loving, and you've set yourself free with the truth. And you believe in your dreams, and you're listening to your intuition, offering yourself love, moving forward in a new beginning, taking the lessons you've learned from this shadowy person to not be as naive and gullible as you were in the past, and investing in other people who view life the same way you do, and they can go invest in people who view life the way they do. So there you go, Scorpio. So I think some people have already detached from those relationships and they're already moving forward. Other people are in those type of relationships and some of them are detaching from it. And then some people are staying in a shadowy relationship because they still haven't seen the truth, like haven't been in it long enough or don't want to see the truth. And other people are in where both people are willing to do the work, and they're both putting in the work and effort. And if they're in a mismatched relationship and they don't see it, eventually they will see it, because the people who are in a relationship with a shadowy person, they're going to feel stuck. And they're also eventually, they're going to realize that they got caught up in an illusion and they missed an emotional opportunity and other people they could have been in relationship with because they weren't willing to listen to their intuition. And it could have been because they were kind of caught up in the illusion of the world and it looked victorious and successful, and maybe they'd already gotten into it, so then it's harder to end it, but lessons are learned. So there you go, Scorpio. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.